Okay, so I guess this is a different video from the normal on my channel. I've done light novel reviews in the past of Spice and Wolf. I think they're pretty bad by the way I'm talking. But last time around I had a script I was reading off of, but for this I think I'm just going to say some of my thoughts on volume 6 of Spice and Wolf. Okay, before getting into my thoughts on the volume, this is going to contain spoilers. I'm starting with volume 6 because it covers content not in the remake or the original anime. And I just finished reading it. I read volumes 1 through 5 of the light novels, but from this point onwards, I read the manga up till its end. And there was a lot of little changes that I discovered when reading this compared to the manga, that being volume 8. And now that I've read the full volume, the light novel version of this in between mini arc is so much better than the manga. It's crazy how much they cut from the manga, especially because the manga cut all of volume 5, including Eve, which is weird when you see her in the manga. Instead of in the light novel, we know that Eve is the one that caused the ships to get stuck while traveling down the river. I guess I should explain how this volume starts off, with it continuing where the original anime left off. And basically, Lawrence and Holo are after Eve at this point. Holo is very adamant about going after Eve for tricking Lawrence, and she says she'll stay with him until they settle this matter with Eve. Also, throughout this volume, you can tell the tension between Holo and Lawrence has changed, and they act kind of different towards each other, knowing that their journey is going to end soon. The way they act towards each other is very similar, but it feels different from all the other volumes because of what happened. But by the end of this volume, that returns to normal, with Holo saying that they should travel together until they find Yoit. Holo basically does a full 180 by the end of this volume in the way that she was adamant about chasing after Eve, and that mostly changes because of how much fun she had. You can tell she has a lot of fun in this volume, especially by this illustration. It's like she forgot that we were still chasing after Eve. I'm very glad that changed though. Also, Cole is introduced in this volume. His introduction is basically the same in the manga, but in the light novel, there's a lot more details that the manga doesn't add. They tell more about his backstory, and Cole actually says quite a bit how he ended up in this situation. Comparing it to the way Cole is handled in the manga, I feel like he's a lot more expressive here in the light novel. He feels a lot closer to Ragusa, the boatman that's taking Holo, Lawrence, and Cole down the river, him right here. For the short amount of time he's here, he's really not bad. I kind of like the little rivalry between Lawrence and him to take Cole as their apprentice. But in the end, I guess Lawrence wins. They both teach him things in this volume. Now, there's one major difference that I want to talk about between the light novel and the manga, and that would be how this ends. So, right after Holo and Lawrence wake up after that crazy night of drinking and dancing, they go to leave for Karub because it would be faster to get there on Holo's back. And Cole decides to come with us, and Holo reveals her wolf form to him. And this surprised me because in the manga, this doesn't happen until maybe near the end of Town of Strife, I think volume 10. In the manga, that's when she reveals herself to him. And also, this exchange just doesn't happen in the manga. After Lawrence and Holo wake up, it just cuts to them in Karub already. We have none of this when Holo and Lawrence decide that they'll end their journey when they reach Yoitz. I guess it makes sense because they skipped Volume 5, Lenos. There's a different feel between the manga version of this volume because of the stuff that happened in Lenos, because their journey isn't put on hold at all in the manga. So they don't have to reaffirm that they would say goodbye when they reached Yoitz. So because the manga cut Volume 5, Lenos, to probably save a lot of time, they had to cut a lot of stuff in this volume. including most of the ending and a lot of Holo and Lawrence's feelings on their journey or their continuing journey. This volume is a nice break from economics. I think Hasakura even says that in the afterword. You can tell that he focused a lot more on Holo, Lawrence, and our new character Cole, and developing them more, especially when Lawrence couldn't find out why Holo was angry with him, taking her for granted in that. The manga does that scene very well. Definitely one of my favorite few pages from the manga. But overall, this volume is very good, strictly better than the manga counterpart. And next volume is Side Colors, which I am excited to read because some of the stuff in there is new for me. But thanks for hearing me rant about volume 6. Now, if I can read fast, maybe I'll have a video on volume 7 in the next month. Unfortunately, I read very slow, so it kind of takes me a little while to read light novels specifically, but I'll try my best. So thanks for watching and tune in next time to see volume 7.